The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. Let's not overthink this.
Don't think too hard about it.
It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
This current generation is going to be known, I believe, as the generation that labeled everything. I feel like we're always labeling something. And so I found a new term, and this is going to be a term that's used in dating, and it's called floodlighting. Now, Wally, I've already told you, after I read the definition, I was like, oh, Wally is guilty of floodlighting. And while you're not dating. Yeah, you're happily married. Yeah. I would say you do this in any kind of friend situation.
Oh.
So I want you to tell me what you think floodlighting means.
I think from that description, does it mean that I take on the hobbies or like attributes of the person that I'm friends with? So that they'll like you more? Yeah.
No, but that is a good guess, and
you
it is
set
true.
me up for like two things then. That was not cool.
Poor guy.
No. Okay, so floodlighting, the definition of floodlighting is when you expose way too much about yourself way too soon.
Oh, I totally do that.
Okay, so the author Brené Brown, she's the one that came up with this term, and she said, typically, she sees this with people that are dating as a way to protect them from vulnerability.
Oh.
Now, you, Wally, in a friend situation or with a stranger situation, the first thing you'll say is, hi, I'm Wally.
Yeah.
I did this. And all those thises are bad things you've done in the past.
Yeah.
And you smile and you're proud of it. Do you feel like you do it because it protects you from vulnerability?
That's fascinating. I never thought about the vulnerability thing about it. I think it's a test for me. Like if I see how they react to some of the things that I've done and they're like, oh, that's pretty funny, then I go, okay, good. I can be friends with that person. But if they're aghast, then you're like, oh, I don't think I would click with them.
Well, she did say that the purpose of people that are dating, trying this floodlighting situation, they're testing it to see if this person would be mature enough to handle them. But I've got to say, are you mature enough, sir?
No, I'm not.
To even be dating.
No, that's the point. Like that is the point. It's to size somebody up quickly. And hey, this is who I am. This is it. You're getting it. Like because everyone else tries to like put the best foot forward and then but then like months later you're like, they're really not a good person, or they're really this or they're really that, and they feel betrayed. With me it's like here it all is.
Well, here a counselor did she did say this. She said organically engaging with someone. So you're bringing up things from your past organically when they come up. That's okay.
Yeah.
But floodlighting is more like immediately waterboarding your deepest trauma to someone.
Pretty good.
No.
Yeah.
So if someone came up to you and they said, I'm an only child, I hate my dad, I can't go into Walmart anymore, and I'm gluten intolerant.
Yeah.
Ooh, gluten.
I'm out there there. I'm like, we can't be friends. See, but that just saved us all a lot of time because now I know it isn't going to work. Uplifting WayFM, this is The Wally Show. Who's this?
Good morning, it's Linda.
What's up, Linda?
Well, I just want to talk about that floodlighting.
Yeah, floodlighting is when you expose way too much about yourself way too soon when you're dating someone. Essentially, you're immediately waterboarding your deepest traumas.
And that's what my husband and I did. We're coming up on 3 years of marriage, but we've both been through, terrible divorces and things, and that was what we did for the first 2.5 months. All we did was talk and just lay everything out because I'm 50 plus and he's 40 plus, so we don't want to mess around. And when would have put it all out there to begin with, you could have said, yeah, no, I can't handle this.
Yeah, it's kind of like, Betty, you do this in a way in your dating scenarios where you are really direct and just, you're not wasting time. So if there's a red flag or something, you're like, nope, I'm out, you know?
Yeah, I would say that I am, but internally.
Yeah.
So,
I'm an external.
Yeah, you're external. So I'm not going to just go out there and say all of my trauma. I mean, I don't want to create an image of somebody that I'm not, but I keep it more internal. Like if they say something that's like, oh, that's a red flag, then I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
But I think there is something to organically sharing those deeper parts of your personality instead of being like, here's this, and this. I think that shows a lack of maturity.
No, I think it's maturity in the sense that you're sharing that stuff with them just to size them up to see if they can handle you, you know, kind of thing.
If they can handle you. But doesn't
that's how I
that say
see it.
something?
Maybe. I don't know.
Exactly.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. Betty Rock had done a story in her news-ish about floodlighting, a new term that is basically what? Can you explain it?
It's being used in dating terms, but I told Wally that while he is happily married, I see him doing this so-called floodlighting when it comes to making friends. So floodlighting is when you expose way too much about yourself way too soon. Pretty much waterboarding your deepest traumas immediately.
I lead with some of the outrageous things that I've done. When I meet people, I lead with stuff that most people would hide that for most of their lives or for like at least a good 6 months.
Yeah.
And divvy it out in small doses.
Right. But you will meet a complete stranger and you'll introduce yourself and then tell every bad thing that you've done. And so I've always wondered why it is that you do this. Now, when I was looking into this whole article about floodlighting, the person that came up with this term is an author. Her name is Brene Brown, but she said that typically people floodlight when they want a way to protect themselves from vulnerability.
But I don't get that because I don't see myself as being like overly emotional or, I don't want to be vulnerable. I'm trying to size people up and be like, can you be my friend? If you can handle this, then you can be my friend.
Right, exactly. Well, I don't want to brag too much, but I did go to Colorado Christian University and got a degree in psychology.
I have to tell you, I've seen it pay off multiple times in this job for you. And like you have an astute nature to this and really good insight. You impress me a lot of times.
Thank you. But I was thinking about your situation, Wally, and why it is that you do this floodlighting with complete strangers.
Let me lay down on this couch and you just like psychoanalyze
I
me.
charge about $70 an hour. No, a minute. Let's do a minute.
That's cheap for me.
Okay, so I think while you say I'm not emotional, I don't care about vulnerability, I think it really comes down to, you have said this before in the past, that when you are in the deep end, like when you're getting a little emotionally deep and you might want to cry about something, you're not comfortable there. You don't want to stay there. If anything, you'll end it with a joke.
Always.
And it could be a dark joke as well.
To get out as quickly as possible.
Exactly. And I think that's because you don't like being vulnerable and playing in the deep end. And so I think when you meet someone brand new and they don't know who you are as a person, you come at them with the worst part of you because you want to set the standard for them of what they can expect from you. That you're not going to be one of those people that plays in the deep end. You're not going to be one of those people that can be emotionally available.
Yes.
You just want to set the standard for what they can expect from you.
That is fascinating because when you said it was like the author said it was about not being vulnerable, I'm like, well, that's gobbledygook. I don't understand that at all. But my gosh, Rock, that is really, really astute.
So would you say that that's true?
I would say you're pretty on point with that. As I think about it, as you've made me think about it, I'm like, that actually makes sense. That CCU degree, that's paying off for me, man. Nicely done. Thank you, Rob.
Where do I get the fee for it?
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to become a professional or get out of this line of work and then like start a business. But I think you could actually do that. You'd be really good at being a counselor. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and the Women of Way. They have an event coming up. And it's called the Reclaim event. And yesterday I tried to help. I mean, they haven't asked me to be there or speak or be any part of this
because it's a women's event.
Okay, on the surface I see there could be a problem or an issue, but I'm Wally. So they've kept me out of it. And so I wanted to help out yesterday. So I'm like, okay, you know what is missing? Your event needs a theme song. So I kind of got my ukulele and I'm like, reclaim your pain, reclaim disdain, reclaim everything, just reclaim, you know?
Terrible.
No, well, apparently you're not alone. I got an email from somebody yesterday that says, hey, I heard your theme song for Reclaim, the event for the women. I have to say I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
I was expecting something more funnier from you, like your famous parody songs. Nevertheless, I still love you guys. Okay, it was a work in progress. I mean, I literally just whipped it out right there while we were talking about the event.
Yeah.
So I'm still noodling, but I don't have much time to get it down.
That's right, you don't, because the Reclaim event, it's happening tomorrow. So we are getting together and talking about those things in our life that we want to reclaim back through our faith. I'm going to be speaking on reclaiming contentment, but I know that Joy, I think she's speaking on reclaiming peace, and Joy is the one that does our middays here at Way FM. Becca will also be speaking, but leading worship there as well as speaking will be the one and only Tasha Layton.
A million miles of my mistakes, so couldn't keep your
And her story is great too. Like, we've had her on the show before, and I've seen her do like public speaking. She's fantastic.
She is awesome, and so I can't wait to see what she does, what she brings to the table. Yeah, and I'm sure she might be singing this song as well. But like Wally said, time is running out to grab your tickets. It's happening tomorrow, and we would love to see you there. You and your girlfriends, not
Okay.
Wally.
If I get the theme song worked out, could I do it live?
No, absolutely not.
That was really
Text
fast.
the word reclaim to 91979, and we will send you a link. That way you can buy your tickets before it's too late. That's text the word reclaim to 91979.
And hopefully we'll all see you there tomorrow.
No. Hey, Wally, do you have a minute?
Sorry, busy.
I have cake.
Oh, what do you need?
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of even though we are busy, we make time for what's important.
Yeah, because going back to school as an adult, you're busy with work, you've got family, but if you want to make your education a priority, trust me, you can do it. Betty did.
Like when I first started, I was super intimidated because it had been a while since I've been in school. But I mean, from the very first conversation, I felt like they were setting me up for success.
Yeah, and going back to school with CCU's flexible online courses makes it so convenient.
Yeah, and what's so cool is every class has a biblical worldview perspective. And so you think, well, how can they turn math into a biblical worldview? They find a way.
Yeah, and that was one of my jobs when I was teaching at CCU, was integrating not just the facts and figures of things, but how your faith plays into what you're going to do.
CCU offers Christ-centered higher education, transforming students to impact the world with grace and truth.
Cultivate your mind without compromising your heart. Get started today at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a non-profit impact partner.
The world can get hectic.
Are you kidding?
That's why we like to do news-ish
I need to calm down.
on The Wally Show.
I would love to see like Noah's Ark truly found and explored on Mount Ararat, but it's said that like the Turkish government will not allow any exploration of that
What?
site.
Why?
Because it's Turkey's like a Muslim country, and so I don't know. There's been debates over this for years. They think they know where it is,
Yeah, I've heard of this.
and they can't get to it
Right,
and stuff.
right.
And so when I saw a headline about something else biblical, I was really intrigued. It's about the Ark of the Covenant. And the Ark of the Covenant, I mean, it's more than just a lost treasure in Indiana Jones, which was a fantastic Indiana Jones 1.
Snakes!
I hate snakes.
Looking for the thing, you know, and then how it ended was really not good for people. But, and it's an important symbol in both Jewish faith and Christian faith and in history. But apparently, the headline was decades-old CIA documents of the Ark of the Covenant resurfaced in a classified news group. Like,
What?
ooh, I know, right?
So they have it somewhere?
No, they don't. I was all in, though. I was all excited about this. I pictured it in the warehouse, like at the end of Indiana Jones, somewhere buried. But the weird thing is the report said the CIA used remote viewers to locate the site of the artifact. And it was called Project Sunstreak. It took place in the 80s, so you would think it was like further back than that. To establish remote viewing, the ability to describe remote areas or concealed data via unknown mental processes as an intelligence tool.
Can you dumb that down?
Yeah, so basically, this is like right out of the movies. We're talking about the CIA trying to harness the powers, mental powers of people like clairvoyance, which makes you assume a couple things. A, the CIA believes in spiritual realm, and B, they really want to find the Ark of the Covenant. And so they had these people that would basically telepathically or go into a trance, however they did it, and they would describe where the Ark was. And this guy has all these detailed drawings and stuff. But a lot of it, too, was describing the Ark that you could read out of the Bible. That's two things, and it was made of okay, great. Everybody knows
Tell
that.
us something we don't know.
Exactly. Like go find it, and it's in a place, and it's buried in a dark place. Well, seriously, I could get this for $2.99 from a psychic on the phone, you know?
Right.
So I was kind of bummed. I was really hoping that the leak was like, yeah, we have this thing.
Yeah.
And so I would love to find it. I don't think we ever will, but then I started thinking that's probably a good thing. Like, I see both sides to the story. Like, it would provide proof that the Bible is real to people who don't maybe necessarily believe it, I think. I don't think the power would, that's the other thing weird. Like, is the power still there? I don't know. But like, also there's something to believing in what you can't see, Yeah,
I know. But what did the Bible say? Like, where did we leave off in the Bible when it came to the Ark of the Covenant?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was lost at some point in time.
That's what it says.
Yes.
In James 2:4, it says, and it was lost.
Sorry about that. It was Ned's job to watch it. Ned fell asleep.
Come on.
We lost it.
One job, Ned.
Yeah, it's weird because I think, you'd think if people could see something, they would believe more. But we had Jesus here on the earth.
Yeah.
And people still didn't believe him. I think Jesus could come back today, walk on the earth, do miracles, do everything, all his Jesus things, and I do believe that people still would miss him. Like, completely miss him, like we did 2,000 years ago. So, I don't know. It'd be an interesting thing. I'm hoping they find it. If nothing else, let's search Noah's Ark and let's start from there. But they don't want that to be proved either, because then again, it proves that the Bible is a living, honest, real book, and there are people that don't want that to be true. Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. And yesterday on the show, we were talking to a lady, and we were just kind of talking about life and things like that, and she mentioned a song, and she was like, that is my theme song, and I'm hanging on to that song. And I started thinking about this. I thought, what is that Christian song that is a theme song for you? Maybe it's for your life. You kind of got things figured out, but you're like, this describes my life. Or maybe it's your life right now. Like, if I was to do mine right now, I think it would definitely be We Are Messengers, Maybe It's Okay. I've always liked Darren and his perspective on things, and I'm kind of in that place right now where I know, like, anytime someone says they're deconstructing their faith, you're like, you're a heretic, you're losing your faith, things like that. But I'm in a place where I'm, like, asking honest questions and seeking God about things that I'm, like, struggling through inside of what I believe, know?
I think that's a healthy thing to do. I think that's what most Christians should do so that they can support why it is that they believe what they do.
Yeah, I hope so, But so that is a song that gets me. I'm actually going to Ireland to where Darren lives for my daughter's wedding, and he lives right near there, and I've already reached out to him. Like, I just want to hang out with him, for a few days, non-work related.
That's so cool.
And just talk with him, because he's somebody that I can talk to and open up with, you know?
That's
so,
awesome.
Betty Lou, what would your theme song be for, like, maybe where you're at right now?
Well, with me, I deal with a lot of thinking like I'm not enough in multiple areas, but I love the reminder that elevation worship brings with Jireh.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and it tells you right there. I mean, because everyone in your life can tell you, Rock, we love you. You're enough. You're
Yeah.
great. We love you. But if you're not understanding that in your own head, then all of it's just words and doesn't matter.
And two, sometimes like you feel like you're not enough or you don't have enough. But if
Right.
God is enough, then He's everything that you need.
I love that. That's perfect. All right, so that's exactly what we're talking about. We'll get to Gavin's too because he matters. He's enough.
Thank
you. Yeah. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What is that Christian song that would be a theme song for your life and maybe where you're at right now? 855-33-WAY-FM. What would yours be?
Mine would definitely be John Reddick's God Turn It Around.
God turn it around. God turn it around. God turn it around.
Man, I love this song. So why for you?
It just reminds me that God is always in constant movement, you know, and we just have to be reminded of that. A lot of times we think He's just sitting on a throne, you know, and He tosses out a little bit here, a little bit there, but He is literally constantly moving, and that just gives me life, you know, and it's always the go-to song, and it's always the song that if someone comes to me when they are in peril or whatever they're experiencing, I always send them that link to that song, and they always come back and say, oh, thank you so much.
Turn it around. God turn it around. Oh.
What would that song be for you, Jenny?
Well, in this season of my life, it's definitely Brandon Lake's Hard Fought Hallelujah.
I'll bring my heart felt, been through hell. Hallelujah.
It has so much passion to it and feeling to it, and that you feel like, oh, it's difficult. So what are you going through that you're like, yes, this song is me?
Well, I struggle with depression, and that's been a lifelong thing, but right now this season in life has been incredibly difficult. I'm a single mom. I have a kid with special needs, just everything going on in the world. And, you know, I'm going through the fire for some things, and the line that says, when my head, heart, and hands are feeling heavy, I just need to lift them a little higher. Some days that's all I can do. So that song really resonates and is exactly what I needed right now in this season of my life. Because you always seem to deliver the song right when I need it. God definitely uses you guys, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, that's definitely a God thing. He delivers the songs. We are trained monkeys pushing buttons. So,
Well, we love you, monkeys.
what is the song that's kind of a theme for where you're at right now?
It is the song by Tasha Layton, Look What You've Done.
Look what you've done. Look what you've done in me. You spoke your truth into the lies. I let my heart believe.
I love this song so much that I actually ruined it with a parody song version of it that I had Tasha sing, so she's cool with it, about look what you've done when you get a bad haircut, and I think she crushed it. But why did you pick her version of the good song?
I love, there's two lines that she sings that, it makes me turn the radio up. And it's when she sings, you're digging all my roots up and you're healing all my wounds up. And it just, I love it. And it reminds us all that, you know, only God knows our deepest sorrows and our deepest sins and mistakes, and He could dig them up and clean us out and make us new.
Oh, such a good reason, and I think that it would be fitting to play Tasha Layton's Look What You've Done parody song right now, because she just hit all the good stuff from that song, and now we can play the funny song that will make people laugh.
No, I disagree.
I think so. Tricia, I need a wingman here.
Well, can we do both?
Sure, but we'll start with the parody song.
Jeez.
Okay, sounds good.
Look what you've done. How could you cut so much? You should be ashamed of yourself. I look just like a Keebler elf. Looking in the mirror now, I can see a color in my roots up. All I needed was a touch up. All I can say is really blue yuck. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to me. You cut my hair so short, my husband won't believe it's me. Look at me now. You say you made me new. This is nothing like the picture that I brought to you. Oh, just look what you've done.
No! What would yours be, Gavin?
I'm going with Brandon Lake's Praise You Anywhere.
To make Betty and I look bad. We're like, Lord, we need you. We're a mess. And yours is like, I'm just going to praise you anywhere, Lord.
No. Mine's like a reaction because I've had a lot happen over the last year plus now, and I'm learning in those situations, like this is the song that I've been trying to sing. I am praising God anywhere, even when it is in a bad situation.
I'll praise you anywhere. Praise, give him praise, give him praise, and the highest praise. Give him praise, give him praise, and the highest.
Well, there you go. That is Gavin's. What is yours, Laura?
So my theme song right now is The Truth by Megan Woods.
The truth is I am my Father's child. I make him proud and I make him smile. I was made in the image of a perfect king. He looks at me and wouldn't change a thing.
It's just the way that it says that the enemy's whispering, that I'm not good enough and everything like that, but that God says that I am and that I'm made in his image. I don't belong to those lies. And I'm tired of those naysayers living rent-free in my head, just like she said in those deals. And sometimes I will listen to the song over and over and over again until I push all of those negative Nancys out.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to hear good things and they kind of just come in one ear and go out the other. But the negative stuff, for whatever reason, we'll hold on to that until it becomes kind of a truth for us. And I love that you're like, look, I might have to listen to this 10 times, but I'm going to replace that lie with truth, and in this case the song The Truth. And I think this is a perfect song for anybody that struggles to see themselves the way God sees them, and I love that we're playing this. So here's Megan Woods, The Truth. You might want to lean into this one today on Way FM.
How many times can you hear the same lie before you start to believe it? The enemy keeps whispering to me. Swear these days it's all that I'm hearing.
Who's excited to find out what's going on today?
It's that woo-woo.
It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
What you got, Gavin?
I think we would all agree that the economy, which nobody wants to talk about the economy, but that it's in a semi-rough place right now.
Yeah, it was, but that's because it was super high, and now it's pulled back. It's still not bad, but it's not what it was a couple weeks ago.
No, it wasn't. But it's no surprise to hear that, mix the economy with the expense of college, things like that half of parents these days are financially helping their adult children out.
Yeah, you can't do that. You got to cut the cord. You got to cut those apron strings.
Wait a minute, sir. Before you judge, you need to look into your own life. Is your daughter, your one and only daughter, is she paying for anything?
Yeah, she pays for her rent. She pays for her
cell phone?
That saves us money as a family plan.
That. Okay,
so, yeah.
What about her car insurance?
Her car insurance she pays her car payment, but she doesn't pay her car insurance because that's on my insurance because it helps me out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It helps you have to pay it?
No, I need to make some calls.
And if you have just a little extra cash lying around, who does it go to?
It usually finds its way down the funnel to her. No.
And she's how old again?
26 and getting married. But the day she gets married,
cut her off.
Spencer gets it all.
I'll believe it when I see it.
You get it all, sir.
Sure.
Ish.
Yeah.
But and maybe this will make you feel better, and if it doesn't, then I'm sorry, but they said that the average amount of money that these parents give their adult children is $1,474 a month.
No.
Helping out with things like you said, like insurance, phone bills, groceries, and rent. Now, I am not gonna sit here and say that my parents haven't helped me in my adult life.
But my parents did too.
They still help with a lot of things, and that is super helpful, and I'm so grateful for that. That though, that's enough to live on.
Yeah, I mean,
in some circumstances, that is a very large amount of money to be giving to your kid, and that's tough because I feel like when you in theory, when they get out of college and they get their job, you would love for it to be just that simple, easy cutoff.
Right, it's not.
And some parents have that in their heart that they want to help.
I
get
thought it
that,
was
too.
easier than it was. I figured, yeah, because when I moved out, it was like, hey, bye, son, and like you're on your own, figure it out. But having a daughter makes it a little bit different. So we kind of gave her things in steps, But I guess not. Betty, like her dad kicked her out like a while ago, and she had to take it all on.
I was like, Dad, I'm not ready to leave the nest yet.
Dad, I'm 14. But no, but I found it harder and more challenging, especially like when your kid's not entitled. You're like, oh, I'll do that. You're on my cell phone plan. It's easier just to keep you on there. And
she's
the
your
insurance,
she's your only daughter.
But like she did. She had to pay her rent, had to do all of her fun stuff. She has to, pay her car now. She has a car. So I hear it, Rock. I hear it, okay?
No, because I know that if at any point she's like, oh, I really like that car, but I just don't know. Like, it's just so expensive.
Nothing's too good for you, honey.
Exactly. You would get it for her.
No, not now. Especially once she gets married. Like, that's got to be the cutoff.
Right.
It has to be.
I don't believe it at all.
No. She's doing a good job living her own life.
But Daddy!
I don't understand why it was so hard to do this, because, that's how I lived, but maybe my wife didn't, and so my wife maybe influenced me a little bit like that, because her parents helped her out a lot more, too, and so, I don't know. It's a tough call.
We all want Haley's life.
Yeah, I know, I do, too. I need a sugar daddy. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and how many times, if you think about it, is prayer your last resort? You're like, I've tried everything else. I guess I should pray about it. When actually, that should probably be our first resort. And so we have a thing called the prayer wall where you can post prayer requests right out of the gate. You got something going on, post a prayer request. Have other people praying for you, and you'll get notifications that says somebody prayed for you, and see what that kind of does to you as you process what you're going through. And some of the prayer requests are pretty heavy. I found a few that all had a theme. This anonymous one, my wife of 21 years has filed for divorce. This is the third time she's walked out on our marriage. Oof. And it's like, this guy's like trying to stay in it, but he's like, I don't think it's going to happen. This other one, I pray for my husband to have a change of heart. It's been 4 months of not hearing, I love you, and I love him more than anything. I am committed to this marriage. I miss feeling wanted, feeling important, and feeling like I matter. And I just need prayer for that to hang in. Like, that's heavy. It's heavy. So people are dealing with a lot of different things, and maybe you have walked through a season of that, and you know exactly how to pray for that person. You're perfect. You're who we're looking for. You can pray for people in this instance. Or maybe you're going through something, and you're like, yeah, I can commiserate with that. I need prayer too, and you can post that as well. However you want to do it, if you want to, if you need prayer, if you want to pray for people, it's there for you to use right now.
Just text the word pray to 91979. That's pray to 91979, and we will send you a link.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. And usually when you ask Betty Rock to go above and beyond, you get a litany of reasons why she can't. It's not my job. No. All that stuff. Yeah, it's horrible. But
to some degree.
But she is happily...
It's called boundaries.
She is happily giving up her Saturday to do the Women of Way, their Reclaim event coming up. And so you still have time to get tickets, but you're running out of time.
Right, because this thing is happening tomorrow, and we would love to see you there. Like Wally said, it's a women's event. So if you are a lady and you're looking for an excuse to get out of the house and leave the kids with your husband, hey, this is your great excuse. And bring with you a friend as well. When you text the word reclaim to 91979, you can get your hands on the last couple tickets. That's reclaim to 91979.
So Betty's going to be there sharing about things that she wants to encourage people and herself to reclaim, as well as Joy. And Becca from Afternoons is also going to be there. And she sent us a voicemail, speaking of bringing a friend, of a lady who's super excited to be there.
Hey, it's Jennifer from Louisville, and I am so excited. My girlfriend and I are going to the Reclaim Conference this Saturday. We bought tickets for VIP so we can see Joy, Betty Rock, Becca, all our favorites. You'd think I was going to meet Noah Kahan, Taylor Swift, and Chris Tomlin. Those are my other favorites. And I am so excited. It's going to be so soul-filling, and can't wait. See you Saturday.
There you go. So she's all excited to meet you.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So she got her hands on her tickets, and you can too. If this sounds like something that would be beneficial to you. Like Wally said, we're going to just be talking about those things that we can reclaim back in our lives through our faith. Just text the word reclaim to 91979, but do it now before time runs out. That's reclaim to 91979.
I came here in a time machine that you invented. Great Scott! Now I need your help to get back in time.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show. It's Friday. That means it's time for Flashback Friday as we hurtle ourselves back in time in this tin can of a time machine. And the person taking us back in time is Susan, because we're doing this musically. Susan, you are very welcome in the time machine. You might want to wear a mask. I don't feel good today.
He's got a tender tummy, Suzanne.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know if it's contagious or not. I mean, theoretically, if you get sick, we could then go back in time for an extra fee and to a time when you were healthy. But we'll play that by ear.
I work in the school system, so I'm used to the Petri dishes.
Oh, maybe you made me sick. I don't know. So what is the song you want to go back in time to hear?
Welcome Home by Sean Groves.
Ooh, Lady Rock, what year do we have to go back to for this?
Man, we're going back all the way to 2001. 2001 was the year that McDonald's Monopoly game was a big
that was a
deal.
big deal.
Did you play it,
I
Wally?
did.
And Gavin, did you even know what it was?
I was 6 years old.
Well,
so-
you get like little sticker pieces on like your fries or your chicken nuggets or your Big Macs, and you could play. But it turns out that it wasn't legit at all because the head of security for the company that printed off the game pieces, Jerry Jacobson, he was actually giving the winning pieces to his friends, his family, and
total scam.
Yeah, like the mob. So nobody was winning.
But you know what? We're going to be winning today because we are playing Sean Groves from back in the day. Sean Groves actually said the funniest, meanest thing about me. He said, because my hair goes up to a point and then my beard comes down to a point, he's like, it's like looking at one of those bad paintings of a mountain with its reflection in the water.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. He's so right.
I know. You can't unsee it now.
I can't.
Yeah, it's so great. So why did you pick Welcome Home by Sean Groves?
In 2001, I was still a pretty new believer, but that song, as soon as I heard it, and I heard it on Way FM, by the way.
Oh, nice.
It became the theme song for my life. I was just like, yes. I was just doing so much to, I guess, find meaning and find purpose, and it was all about me. And then the Lord came in and just did this amazing and wonderful thing. He healed me and he saved my marriage all in like one fell swoop. It was incredible. And from that moment, I was like, okay, you are stuck with me. I am yours. You cannot get rid of me.
I do like your perspective because, you know, when we get saved, we talk about, oh, I made this decision to follow Christ and now I have to do this and I've got to do this and this and this and all the things that we think we're doing. And it's not about that at all. It's about what Christ did for us. You're absolutely right. So here we go all the way back to 2001. It's Sean Groves' Welcome Home for Susan on Flashback Friday.
This heart of mine, buried under prideful vines, grown to hide the mess I've made inside of me. Come decorate, Lord, and open up the creaking door and walk upon the dusty floor, scrape away the guilty stain.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. This is The Rock Report with Betty Rock.
Before the year 2002, we had never heard of the show American Idol. We also had never heard the name Kelly Clarkson.
That's true.
Which now, I mean, she's a name brand.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller.
I gotta tell you, I don't care who you are, Kelly Clarkson moves me. Like, I feel so girl power when I hear this.
Moves you in like bowel movement?
No, like
or-
it's like good. Like I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it. Well, this is interesting. Like, keep in mind now, Kelly Clarkson was the first winner of American Idol. So when she was auditioning for the show, she really had no idea what she was auditioning for.
She probably answered like a blind ad that's like, are
Yeah.
you a singer? Because they didn't even know what they were doing. They had Ryan Seacrest. They had that other comedian kid. And they tried to do
Yeah.
banter back and forth.
Yeah.
What was his name? Gavin, can you look that up?
Yeah,
Because he faded
quit.
off into obscurity. Yeah.
And now Ryan Seacrest is like the best thing that
I wouldn't
the
say the
world
best
has ever
thing.
been blessed
I
with.
do really like him.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do wrong. Am I right, Gavin?
That's right.
Anyway,
Brian
now
Dunkelman?
Brian Dunkelman.
Brian Dunkelman.
Brian Dunkelman
I've
should be
never
the
heard of
household
that.
name, not Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan
Dunkelman is just a
Seacrest.
great name.
No, he's the best. So, anyways, when you hear like when people like Carrie Underwood, Jordan Sparks, Scotty McCreery, all these people, they also won American Idol, but in different seasons. You think, well, really, do they have that much street cred? Like, or
Yeah.
did they earn their way up? But Kelly Clarkson claims like you can't put her in that same bracket.
For all of us in that first season, we literally I didn't even know it was a TV show until my third audition. We were like, oh, this might work. I might meet someone or whatever. Nobody knew it was going to amount to anything. So I think for me, we were literally like kids, you know, at 19 years old, just like trying to pay my electric bill, y'all. So it was a different thing. So I don't look at it like how everybody perceives it.
It wasn't the machine that it is today back then. Because again, they were still just figuring it out themselves. And so she didn't have the advantages / disadvantages that come from winning American Idol. You win it now, you go instantly on a tour. If you're in like the top 10, you go instantly on a tour, you're traveling around and they own you. They own everything you do for a lot of years and you make no money until you get out from under that. And we've had artists get out from under that. Mandisa in the Christian world, fantastic. Colton Dixon in the Christian world, Danny Goki. Like there's been a lot of people that were on American Idol that were believers that ended up having really successful careers in the Christian music industry.
What was the bald guy? Rocker?
Oh, Daughtry.
Daughtry.
Daughtry, yeah, that guy can
Yeah.
sing. He's still putting out stuff. He's good. And
so is Ryan Seacrest. I mean, honestly, could the show, Gavin, am I right? Could the show have gone as far as it did
Dunkelman,
without
who?
a host?
It doesn't
yeah,
mean
like
that-
Ryan Seacrest, he honestly carried that show.
He's ancillary.
And he is who we need to thank.
He is
Kelly
ancillary
Clarkson
now.
should thank Ryan
Ryan.
Seacrest.
Ryan.
Ryan.
Okay, you got it now.
Ryan.
You know what? If you're not going to do your jobs right and chant Wally, then we're just not going to do this, okay? That's going to do it for your Rock Report. Thank you, Lady Rock, I think. Pastors are definitely overworked and underappreciated a lot of times. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. And recently, Betty Rock was telling me about her parents and their pastor, which is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, so recently my dad had to have...
Sorry, I'm
That's
just
so
kidding. I'm
mean.
just kidding.
I know we're country, but we don't have to have the banjo music playing in the background. Okay.
She hasn't even said his name yet.
I know. No, Danny Ray.
Annie, can I just...
Yes.
Do I ever
Yes.
do this to you when you're telling a story?
I run the board, that's why. But anyway, no, go ahead. I promise. This is a good story. I won't mess it up anymore. I promise. Honest truth. I did it 3 times. Rule of 3. We're good to go.
But if you only done it twice, you
I
could have
had one more to go.
Anyway, okay, so my dad had to have some minor surgery, some minor outpatient surgery, but his pastor was like, you know what? I know that the surgery is at like 6:30 in the morning, but I'm going to come down there and I'm going to pray for you before the surgery happens. And of course, my dad's like, oh, you don't have to do that, but he did. And so I was just very impressed by that their pastor would take time out of his morning. Like he could have been sleeping in, you know, but he is there for the people in his congregation. And I think that's awesome.
I think you get that kind of customer service, if you will.
Customer service.
But from a smaller church.
Yeah.
Like there's more intentionality because there's less of the big church issues to deal with. And so you can be more one-on-one. You can be more in people's lives. And I think that's the advantage of going to a smaller church. Mega churches are great, and that's why you do small groups. Because the mega church pastor's probably not going to show up, but maybe someone from your small group does.
Yeah, and this is not to diminish what a pastor does at all. I just want to give people a chance to kind of brag on their pastor.
Absolutely.
And share some stories about how they've seen their pastor live out his faith, his character.
And maybe even going to a big church where you would not expect that to be able to happen. You're like, man, I was surprised. It's a mega church and the pastor showed up for me like this. I'd love to hear those stories as well. 855-33-WAY-FM is the number. You get to celebrate your pastor here. Yeah, tell us what church you go to, too, because somebody where you live might be looking for a new church and they hear this and go, hey, I want to check that out. So 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What is something that your pastor did that impressed you?
I go to East Cooper Baptist Church in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
Okay, and so what was something that you were kind of impressed that your pastor did?
I had some major surgery done several years ago, and the surgery started at 7 in the morning, so the pastor came in at like 6 o'clock to pray. But unfortunately, and as wonderful as it was, they had given me a little bit of the anesthesia before he started to pray, and there was a group around me praying, and I started to laugh. And I couldn't stop laughing, and I laughed through the entire prayer, and by the time they finished, they were all crying and laughing at the same time because I couldn't control the laughter.
What a great way to go into surgery, though, with everybody kind of laughing. It surely takes a little bit of the heaviness away from it. And I just love that you had people from your church that showed up for you. That's what church is supposed to be, and that's fantastic. So, again, where do you go? Give it to me one more time in case someone's looking for a church near you.
It's East Cooper Baptist Church in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
There
Great
you go.
Church.
It has Peg's stamp of approval.
Yes.
When was that time that you were impressed by your pastor?
So I had a miscarriage back in 2019, and we go to a large church in Birmingham of about 4,000 members.
Oh, wow.
And I'll never forget my pastor giving me a phone call just to personally check on me. Not like an associate pastor, but the actual pastor of our church that's quite large. And I'll never forget just how that blessed me and felt so personal and like he was really caring for his flock.
See, I don't mean this to be like a slight to mega churches, but a lot of times in those scenarios, they build small groups so that you have people that look out for each other because there's a different set of problems that comes with being a mega church pastor than a small like country church pastor. So I love when I hear pastors going above and beyond to care about their people, even when they've got different issues that they need to deal with that might preclude them from normally doing that. That's fantastic. What church is it in case someone's looking?
Yes, Briarwood Presbyterian Church in Birmingham, Alabama. And our church is a huge blessing to many people, and we would love to have anyone visit.
So, Mickey, what is something your pastor's done that you're like, man, that's awesome?
So there's a lady that lives in the church neighborhood, and she called him frantic one night. He was in the middle of dinner. She was pretty sure that she had lost the envelope with $200 in it. So he leaves his dinner, he goes over, and he is literally dumpster diving. I don't remember for how long, but he's looking through everything.
Was the $200 in a tithe envelope? Because that would explain his willingness to dumpster dive.
And to top it all off, my pastor lost his wallet in the dumpster while looking for this money that wasn't even there.
Oh, no, the irony of that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished. I feel bad for your pastor, but he did the right thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Well, Mickey, where do you go to church in case someone in your area is like looking for a new church?
I go to West Ridge Community in Wichita.
Well, there you go. If you live in Wichita and you're looking for a pastor that will dumpster dive for you, she's got the church.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.